Your body is run by, well, two incredible command systems. One is this lightning-fast electrical grid for instant reactions. The other is a slower chemical broadcast for body-wide changes. So today, we're going to dive into how this perfectly coordinated duo keeps you alive.
You've definitely had this happen, right? That split-second, almost magical reaction where your hand jerks away from something hot before your brain even registers the ouch. I mean, how does that even happen?
Well, it's not magic. It's an elegant and incredibly fast biological process, a built-in safety feature that's all about one thing: survival. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it all works.
Let's be real. When you're in danger, speed is everything. Stopping to think about the pros and cons of getting burned is a luxury you just don't have. Your body needs an override, a direct shortcut from sensing danger to taking action. So, let's take a look at how it pulls off this incredible speed.
So, this amazing biological shortcut, it's called a reflex action. The key here, and the slide says it all, is that it happens without any conscious thought. It's that life-saving move of pulling your hand from a flame, but it's also something as simple as your mouth watering at the smell of food. It's just your body doing what it needs to do, completely bypassing your conscious mind.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Well, it's all thanks to something called the reflex arc. You can see the steps here. Receptors in your skin literally scream hot and send an electrical signal up a sensory neuron. But here's the cool part. Instead of going all the way to the brain for, a committee meeting, the signal hits the spinal cord, which immediately fires back a command down a motor neuron telling your muscle to contract. All of this happens before your brain even gets the full memo about the pain. It's genius.
That reflex arc we just talked about, it's just one single pathway in this massive high-speed network we call the nervous system. The best way to think of it is like a biological instant messaging service, zapping electrical signals from point A to point B in fractions of a second.
So this whole network is built from these specialized nerve cells called neurons. And what this image zooms in on is that critical handoff, the absolute finish line for the signal. This is the neuromuscular junction, the exact spot where a neuron passes its message to a muscle cell, basically commanding it to move.
The journey of that message is just fascinating. As you can see, it travels down a neuron as a pure electrical impulse. But to get to the next neuron, it has to cross this tiny little gap called a synapse. And here's the catch: it can't just leap across. So the electrical signal triggers the release of special chemicals that float across the gap. Once they reach the other side, they spark a new electrical pulse. It's this beautiful little conversion: electricity to chemistry and right back to electricity, all in a flash. Incredible.
But these high-speed reflexes, they're only part of the story. For every other decision, from what to eat for lunch to how to ride a bike, we need a central processor. We need the body's mission control, the brain.
The brain isn't just one big blob. It's a coordinating center with all these specialized regions. As you can see in the table, you've got the forebrain, which is your main thinking part that interprets the world. Then the mid and hindbrain handle a lot of the background, involuntary stuff. And I absolutely love this detail. The cerebellum, which is part of the hindbrain, is the master of precision. It's what lets you do something as delicate as picking up a single pencil or, amazingly, maintain the balance you need to ride a bicycle.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? The two major types of actions our nervous system controls. You have voluntary actions, things you decide to do, like clapping your hands. And then you have involuntary actions, which, thank goodness, are on autopilot, like your heartbeat or digestion. I mean, can you imagine having to consciously remember to do those things all day? No way. Okay, so we've pretty much established that we animals have this incredible high-speed nervous system. But that just begs the question, right? What about plants? They don't have nerves or muscles, yet we all know they react to the world. So how do they pull it off?
Yeah, it's a great question, isn't it? We've all seen a seedling bends towards the light or a flower close up at night. There's clearly some kind of communication happening in there. So what's actually going on?
Okay, let's look at a super dramatic example: the touch-me-not or mimosa plant. You just touch one leaf and the whole branch folds up. And it turns out, get this, plants also use electrical chemical signals to send information from cell to cell, just like we do. They just manage to do it without any specialized nerve tissue.
So, when it comes to movement, plants basically have two main strategies in their playbook. For a fast reaction like that mimosa plant we just saw, it's all about water pressure. The cells can rapidly change how much water they're holding, and that causes a physical movement. But for slower, more deliberate action, like a shoot bending towards a sunny window, the plant is actually directing its growth in response to the light. One is a super quick change, the other is a long-term game plan.
Now let's jump back to us animals for a second. That electrical instant messaging system is fantastic for speed, but it has one big limitation. It can only reach the cells it's directly wired to. So to communicate with every cell in the body, there's a second system. If the nervous system is like sending an instant message, this other system is like a public broadcast announcement for the whole body.
So what are these chemical messengers? Well, they're called hormones. They get released into the bloodstream and they travel everywhere. Yeah, it's slower than a nerve impulse for sure, but its real power? It's the incredible reach. It can deliver a single message to pretty much every cell in the body, creating these widespread and long-lasting effects.
The classic example, of course, is the fight-or-flight response. Just picture the squirrel, right? It gets a sudden scare. The hormone adrenaline floods its body. Instantly, its heart starts pounding to pump more oxygen. Blood gets diverted away from things like digestion and sent to the big muscles in its legs, and its breathing quickens. It's a total body preparation for intense action, all coordinated by one single chemical broadcast.
So here it is, the key takeaway, all on one slide. It's not one system versus the other. Not at all. It's a beautifully complementary partnership. You've got the nervous system, it's electrical, lightning fast, and precise for those immediate actions. And you have the endocrine system. It's chemical, slower, but with a persistent, body-wide reach. It's this perfect combination of speed and scope that gives your body such an incredible range of control.
I mean, it is just an incredible symphony of signals, constantly keeping you alive and responsive. And it really makes you wonder, what other invisible, perfectly coordinated systems are humming along inside of you right this very second?